Welcome to one of my favourite spots in all of Thailand. It's the best example of a USA military scrapyard. It's a kind of scrapyard where history doesn't just rest. It laughs manically, it haunts the place, it grins. It occasionally winks at you from behind a pile of rust and says, "Buy me!" You never really know what you're going to find here. That's the best part, because when a US base shuts down, it shuts down with the military equivalent of a clearance warehouse sale. Everything must go, absolutely everything. And where does it end up? Well, somewhere like this. A sort of accidental museum of the American century, scattered in piles across the outskirts of Thailand. Welcome, dear wanderers, to the USA Military Scrapyard of Thailand. It's a place that shouldn't really exist and yet obstinately does. It's a place where the past lingers like afternoon heat, and where every object seems to carry on with the solemn dignity of an aging actor refusing to exit stage left. Out front, basking in the sun like old reptiles, are the first ambassadors of this unlikely republic of rust. They are wrecks mostly, yes, but they're glorious ones, the sort of relics that refuse to surrender their narratives, metal saints if you will, locked in postures of eternal almost motion. We turn a corner and we arrive in the mechanics district, a place of magicians, part workshop, part alchemist's temple, where rust is not the end of a thing, but simply its middle chapter. Here men with sun-cracked hands and unerring patience coax meaning out of metal. The clang of a hammer, the hiss of a torch, these are the hymns of resurrection. You can smell oil, dirt, heated steel, and the faint perfume of possibility and what if. Because in this corner of Thailand, even the most exhausted fragment of a rotor blade may find itself reborn, polished and photographed, shipped off to a collector who sees beauty in what the world forgot. Now, come inside. This is where the scrapyard becomes a labyrinth, a maze of shelves burdened by the weight of unclassified marvels, boxes stacked like archaeological strata, each lit a portal. Will it reveal a flight computer, a service medal, a collection of switches whose purpose demands a manual the size of a holy text? The air here hums with unanswered questions, and the joy of rummaging, the sheer schoolboy thrill, is undeniable. I could rummage about in these drawers all day. Over here, there are parts of aircraft long extinct. Over there, helicopter components that once cut through jungle air thick with monsoon breath. You feel less like a wanderer here and more like a scholar stumbling into an annex of history's lost chapters. It's a marvellous place. Up here is the domain of tools, oddities, folk art. Tools forged when craftsmanship meant something. Tools with handles worn smooth by unknown manly hands. And then there's the folk art, the irresistible human urge to paint meaning onto metal. There's nose art sprawled across panels like cryptic love letters to the sky. There's angels, pin-ups, breasts, dice, smirking devils, rude words. Are they real? Are they reproductions? Do you know what? There's a certain charm in not knowing, in the ambiguity, in the stories they conjure, stories that hang in the air like dust caught in a sunbeam. There is all sorts up here, and honestly, you could spend a couple of hours just up here. So let's go downstairs again, and as we do, we drift into the wardrobe section of military memory. There are uniforms lined up on hangers, some softened by decades, some a bit raggedy. There are helmets whose interiors still carry an echo of the men who wore them. Who were they? Maybe a young private from Minnesota, or a gobby guy from New York. Hey, I'm working here. Patches, belts, webbing, the quiet artifacts of service, discipline and humanity beneath the machinery. This is quite something in here. It's a place of quiet reflection of the men who were involved in the conflict here and nearby. And now back outside, where the scrapyard stretches into the distance like a metallic savannah. It doesn't, I'm just waxing lyrical. There are vehicles from Vietnam-era convoys. There are European beasts of burden. There are trucks, wheels, axles, chassis. The cast of an industrial epic sprawling under the sky, if you like. Every direction you look, there is something that wants to be examined, wants to be looked at, wants to be touched, wants to be understood, wants to be remembered. And here's the twist. Despite its battered aesthetic, this place is no abandoned dream. I'm telling you right now, it is a thriving, industrious organism. I've seen deals made, parts traded, vehicles sourced, sold, shipped, a constant circulation like the blood of history being quietly kept alive by a few determined caretakers.
He said he's got a couple of hundred trucks for sale, and all of this stuff is for sale. Lots of it.
Any prices?
Just for the trucks, running from $4,000 up to 1,680,000 Thai baht, maybe about $50,000, $48,000
for the Pinzgauer.
For the Pinzgauer. Diesels all built up.
What about Jeeps?
Starting at $4,000 and on up.
So, 6 Pinzgauers, loads and loads and loads of Jeeps, and we're going to go down to the field down the road now where there'll be loads and loads and loads more old Jeeps and trucks, any of which and all of which you can buy, my friends.
Right, now if you thought that scrapyard was something, follow me. Just down this road past these vehicles, instead of looking out onto the main road to pull out, look left, for there is an overspill field. It's a magical phrase that in Thailand usually means one of two things. Either someone's planning a massive party or someone ran out of space for enormous military vehicles. In this case, it's the latter. But when you do come here, come carefully, come quietly, and preferably without making eye contact with the local canine welcoming committee. There are trucks, jeeps, troop carriers, lorries, hulking green beasts that once ferried equipment across bases from Ubon to Utapao. Some sit proudly in the sun as if waiting for orders. Others are sinking gracefully into the earth like elderly gentlemen settling into long, comfortable naps. And the beauty of it is you can climb on most of them, as my 74-year-old friend is doing right here. Just pick your route wisely, because the only creatures who consider this their official domain are the dogs, who have formed something like a furry, paramilitary dad's army unit. They won't bother you as long as you treat the place and them with a little respect. Think of them as the unofficial security team, the canine corps of historical preservation, if you like. That's the charm of this field. It's not curated, it's not labelled, it's not roped off or polished within an inch of its life. It does deliver a tetanus risk, but there is nostalgia in equal measure. It's very raw. It's history the way us wanderers like it. It's unfiltered, it's slightly dangerous, and it's absolutely fascinating. There's more to explore, and every vehicle here has at least one story left to tell.